This is Secrets to Win Big, brought to you by Arjun Sen, an acclaimed brand zen with over 30 years of global impact, who has been called one of the most business intelligent minds. His never-give-up journey in life and business inspired the global blockbuster movie by Shoojit Sircar, I Want to Talk. Find him at www.arjunsen.com. And now, here is your host, Arjun Sen.
Welcome to Secrets to Win Big with Arjun Sen. It's an honor, pleasure, and a delight to have a conversation with Ahilya Bamroo. Somehow, somewhere, a year and a half back, I did not know who she is. When I first heard about her, more than that, I saw a smile in Shoojit Sircar, our amazing director's face. He had a smile by saying, I found Reya. And that smile told me everything. I heard about how cool she is on Instagram, but the very fact Shoojit Sircar found Reya, I really got excited. I got a chance to meet her during filming. And the first thing was, right away I connected with her as my baby daughter. But she didn't connect with me. So it was very odd. Like, I did not want to go and say, hey, beti, theek hai na. I just calmed myself down because my daughter has taught me that, hey, the very fact you feel something, you don't have to always share. But there was this one moment that really helped me understand what Shoojit Sircar saw in this amazing actor. We all were huddling in this motel, nothing fancy. Evening, we would have dinner come in from a local restaurant. It was the same food every day. Ahilya had a very difficult scene, I guess, that day. She took her food and was sitting alone. So I reached out, sat there, and she was very sweet to open up and share with me. And she was still in that scene. It was a very tough moment between father-daughter. And what I started realizing was she was processing everything and how many layers she had got in. She got into the conflict with the father-daughter. She felt it. She felt what it feels for a daughter to articulate. We sat together, had a meal. We had a few meals after that too. And I just left with an amazing, amazing respect for Ahilya. So Ahilya, sorry for the big introduction. Had to share again that father-daughter thing is coming out. So welcome to Secrets to Win Big.
Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. So right away, of course, the world will see you as the Reya. What's your favorite Reya moment?
Wow. In so many ways, the character of Reya is similar to myself because she's also just a young girl navigating life in some sense. And so I found a lot of similarities between myself and the character, which is always fun, especially when it's your first time acting. I think to be playing a character that's similar to yourself is somehow more comfortable. I think there's one scene where there is like an interaction with her dad where she's kind of annoyed and upset. And the dynamic of that kind of discussion between father and daughter is my favorite Reya moment because she's kind of just having a teenage tantrum in some sense. Mm-hmm. And I really enjoyed acting that out and also reading it on the page in the script. I thought it was like very well structured and that's my favorite Reya moment.
I want to go back into that scene. I really think if we time that, in that scene you created a world record on how fast a young girl can take her hair, put it into some kind of a bun, I don't know how to describe it, and get back into the confrontation. Okay, like I really felt it was unfair from a dad's union point of view that you did not give dad any time to recover. Like, how did you pull that off?
I don't know. It was like in the moment when I think a kid is upset with their parent, you have this tuck kind of, I just want to dish it out to them, whatever they've done wrong to you. And so it was just in that moment, and the actions also become that aggressive and angry or fluid or whatever. And so that was pretty much what that was. So I wasn't really thinking, but it's funny because now I saw it in the trailer, and it's pretty fast,
I'm just telling you, that has to be an Instagram moment of people trying to compete with you to pull that off that fast. You also talked about first-time actor, okay? It didn't come across like there was zero hesitation. Like you come to bat as if you are Virat Kohli, Sachin Tendulkar, bad timing right now, of course. But how did you get into the role? How did you come across authentically so ready?
Well, I think first of all, it's obviously something to do with the story of the character, which felt not exactly similar to mine, but I could identify with the character. And second of all, I think I've done a lot of theatre in school, and so I have a sort of theatre experience, but acting for film is a completely different thing. It's a lot more subtle, less in your face. But I think I have to owe it really to my director, Shoojit Sircar, who brought that out in me. I think the way he works with actors is incredible. And the little kind of notes he was giving me throughout the process of preparing were so helpful, so thought-provoking, that I just had to kind of tap into the feelings that he was trying to get out of his actor. And that was the preparation that I did. It was very... I don't know, it was not as... I'm trying to find the word. I'm going to find it.
Absolutely.
It wasn't so complex. Somehow it was more about intuitively feeling.
And that's the part where I think I was the only person in the set seeing it from a different angle. Okay. And for me, at not a single point, I felt, even though the story is a little different theatrically from real life, is different or disconnected or not resonating. Like sometimes it was so real that right after, I would do my therapy by calling Raka, by saying, "You're okay." And I would say sorry because some of the scenes would take me back. And she would just freak out by saying, "Dad, why are you calling to say sorry in the middle of the night?" I'm like, "No, I just felt it because that was how real you were." So talking about Raka. So if you and Raka could have a conversation over coffee or a beverage or a drink of choice, what would that conversation be now that you've gone through the whole experience?
So many things to share, I think. Definitely, I would want to know her experiences of also being just a teenage girl and her relationship with her father. That would be interesting. And I think in some ways we would start off there, but I feel like because of how she's written in the script as well, we would realize that we have a lot in common, and we could also just become friends who chat about anything. But I definitely would want to know how she feels about the whole thing, if it's strange for her in any ways,
Yeah, and she did not come to the filming, okay?
No.
And by now I know in my life who's the boss, okay? I talked to her about the filming. She had a lot going on. She was applying for a job. Only recently we talked, and what I realized was, for me, every time going into a surgery, knowing I put my best effort in, if I make it good, if not, it's over. But for her, the concept of Dad not being there was brutally tough. And to the point where she even talked about how we can only watch the movie together. And that's the part where it really hit by saying that I don't take life seriously. I live in total denial. But those around you who care, they cannot go into denial. And how she pushes me in life. And I think the perfect way of putting it on screen was you helping the on-screen Arjun during marathon. Okay. Just to put a context, just like in the movie, and when you look at me, I'm in no shape to run a marathon. Okay, it just started with a very simple thing. I was planning to run half a marathon, which is 13.2 miles. Before that, only I ran 7 or 7.5 miles. My brilliant daughter, 14-year-old, myself, we had this conversation. Nobody has half a slice of pizza. Nobody has half a Diet Coke. Chalo Baba, let's do it. And she even told me, if you come to mile 22, I will get you from there. And I believed her. Okay, not that I had a choice. And when you took that over, and that moment, Chalo Baba Chalo, it's not me. Every person, Kirtana in my team, others talked to me about how that became a driving moment for that. So can you talk to me a little bit about that particular scene, your moment, what you were feeling?
I think it was also a very important scene of the film. It reaches some kind of a turning point, or like the big moment of the film, right? And so there was also a certain kind of pressure that I wanted to do it well in the scene itself. But then as I was doing it, I realized that this is also such a sweet and tender moment. It's like about a daughter and her father at the end of the day, nothing really much else. And the kind of motivation that she creates for him is somehow more important and beautiful than the entire marathon itself. It's about that moment where she's there to hold his hand through it. And that feeling was kind of like in the back of my head, that despite all of what's happening, and this is almost kind of a dramatic scene, there is also this sweet tenderness under it all. And so that's what was going down in my head. But I do have this funny little anecdote, is that I was trying to really, kind of be motivating. So I was really just saying, come on, Dad, Baba Cholo. And that became kind of like a slogan of the entire filming. I don't know if you remember, but everybody was like mimicking the way I was screaming, because I did that scene so many times that you could just hear my shrill, like, calling out of Baba Cholo, and it became this whole joke on set.
Yeah, it wasn't a joke, though. It was connected. But the words that you used, I think, were very important. It was simple and beautiful and connecting to the heart. Okay? Just imagine, this guy has no business running. You're worried. You're frustrated. And you have every right to scold that person. Okay? But you didn't. Like, to me, I really felt that was the part where I've been very fortunate to see the movie. I really felt the maturity of you, I can't even say actor. If you are in the movie, was brilliant. Of course, Shoojit gets obscene amount of credit. You are the person pulling it off. And it really touched me on how gentle, kind you were. Then you go behind, push him, then you go in front. Like, I think that is a magic moment people will talk about. And, you'll have an amazing career ahead. But I think you always will come back to that Cholo Baba Cholo, which will drive you forward. Okay?
Yeah.
So now, let's look at ahead of the movie. What are one or two things you're taking on a personal level from the movie as you move forward?
I think the experience of filming it, because it was so human-centric, was really about all the interactions that we were having on set. It was not a huge production. It was like we got really intimate with everybody, right? And so that friendliness and that familiarity was something I think I'll carry forward. I'll always remember it, at least. And from the film itself, I think there is a certain unwavering optimism or motivation about the story, about kind of the journey that I will always think about whenever things feel too hard, or I feel like just saying no to life today, in a sense. I think I'll remember that kind of fire that is in the film and the character and yourself.
Thank you.
For sure.
So I asked you a lot of questions. Yeah. It's only fair. You ask me anything you want. I'll try my best to answer.
Okay. I have this one question. Because in some sense, it was kind of like a Truman Show situation where you're watching, in some sense, your life unfold, but in like a film setting. So what was that experience like? Did you ever feel like it was getting too real, or what was that like?
Yeah, two things came up. One is when I saw some of the very difficult moments, I really was happy that I knew how it ends. And that was a huge relief to me that I did not know when I walked in with the famous bag whether I'm going to walk this way or come out this way. Okay? That was the thing that hit. And the second thing it hit that even though the movie at times glorifies like so many things, if somebody told me there'll be these many surgeries and these many challenges in life, I would have given up. Like not knowing how tough tomorrow will be is a blessing. Okay? And that was the part which really, I'm trying to have a polite word, was, oh crap, light that went on by saying, wow. And it just felt like I'm in a football playoff match. I win one round. By a self goal, the other defender's head, the ball hits, goes in. Like that magic of so many people around. And Raka put this in perspective when I was struggling. She said, Baba, this is like not your movie. It's a movie about everybody in your life. They're running a relay race. You're the baton. Abhishek runs a leg, you run a leg, Shoojit, everybody else. But Baba, don't worry, you're in the race all through. I don't know whether it was a compliment or not, but it really helped me appreciate. But that's the part where when you talk about, I'm just bringing it from the corporate world. I've never been in a team where everybody was together. There was no, we had arguments because it was a creative argument that was there. But that feeling that was there of the intimacy of the team, I really set the movie for an amazing success. Right? So of course, this is the question I have to ask because now I'm a fan of yours. I mean it. So I really want to know, where is Ahilya going now, future? What a vision, plan? You don't have to disclose what you don't want to, but give us a little idea now that you're in. I know you're here to stay. Amazing things will happen. So where are you going next?
Oh, wow. I think I know what kind of things I want to go towards. I'm just really excited to act. I want to do interesting projects that have complex characters, layered stories, all of the things that make us human in a film, basically. That would be super exciting. I've always loved to act since I was a child, and the fact of getting this opportunity with the kind of people that I've gotten to work with Shoojit Sircar, Mr. Abhishek Bachchan, it's a blessing, it's a dream, and so I just want to kind of be doing things that are interesting, not just for me, but also for audiences. And that's one thing for the acting. On the other hand, I'd love to do music as well. I'm a singer. So that would be really exciting. And I don't know. I guess we shall see how everything kind of falls into place. But I'm just super grateful for having this opportunity to have started here already.
Love that.
Yeah.
So you heard it here first. After I want to talk, for her, it is I want to act more. One of the things earlier, you were very humble and talked about the opportunity. I want to push you a little. Luck comes to those who are ready. Luck comes to those who work hard and elevate. Luck doesn't come to those who are not. So you have to give yourself a little credit, at least, for being ready. Because Shoojit Sircar wouldn't have chosen you. He went through a lot to find you. And that smile on Shoojit Sircar's face, I really think is an amazing star for you as you start. And for all of you listening, all I can tell you is anything Ahilya does, you get a buy one, get one free package. Which means anytime she's acting anywhere, you always will have her cheerleader, Arjun, always there, cheering her on. And it would be my turn to say, Chalo, Ahilya, chalo, let's do it. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
You've been listening to Secrets to Win Big with Arjun Sen, an acclaimed brand zen with over 30 years of global impact, who has been called one of the most business intelligent minds. To learn more, visit www.arjunsen.com. Share this podcast with your friends and subscribe wherever you like to listen to podcasts.
This podcast is a part of the C-Suite Radio Network. For more top business podcasts, visit c-suiteradio.com.